So when I started working on this board with Legendary for Lost in Space, the main thing I wanted to focus on was that it functions. Like it was a working piece of equipment as if it was actually on the ship. I went about this with a mindset that the 24th colony mission had, contracted me to make a short-range exploration vehicle to go on the Jupiters. And so when I was brainstorming and prototyping, I went about it as far as like, what would this thing need to do? What would be functional on it? What would its purpose be? And that's when I came up with the concept of the beacon. So the way I wanted to go about this to make it actually function was that it would have a strobe light, and then headlights and taillights and all that stuff. It would be a light source to signal where you are. So the way I accomplished that is I used a polycarbonate plexi essentially and put it over a cutout hole in the board to where the headlights and taillights I used, it would shine through the hole and ignite the plexi. And then I wanted to use something that was incorporated in all the artwork for the new show, the designs of the ship and all that. So I used the logo for the J2, which is that honeycomb pattern, and that served as the main grip and the main background for the bulk of the board. Another functional aspect that I wanted to incorporate into it is how would it be stored, how would it be carried. If this was an actual mechanical piece of equipment, it would probably be a little heavy, so I added handles to it. When I first did my first few rounds of prototypes, they were bulky and big. I tried to bolt them on, and it just didn't work quite as well as I wanted to. So I incorporated them into the board without losing any structural integrity, which was my main concern, but it held up really, really well. And the other concern I had when building this thing was the weight. A lot of the stuff I was adding to it was making it bulkier, heavier weight. I actually cut some weight by adding those handles into it, which was another benefit. Then I added hollow trucks to it, which makes it lighter, but it's also a higher quality truck. Then this thing has to stand the test of time. It has to last. So I put stainless steel hardware on there, which is not typical for a skateboard, but that way it doesn't rust. You don't have to worry about it stripping out, anything like that. Stuff that would actually be useful using it out in the field. And then one of the last pieces I put on there that just made sense for this vehicle was headlights and taillights. It lights your way, it lets people see you from a distance, and it also functions as the lighting mechanism for that danger indicator. When you think of Lost in Space, whether it's the old show or the new show, the remaking that Netflix just did, I think what most people associate with it is Danger Will Robinson. So I knew I wanted to incorporate danger into the actual beacon part itself. It made sense to have that be part of the warning light, and then I could also have that flow into the Danger Will Robinson. Growing up I watched the show, so it was a pretty awesome opportunity for me to have, to be able to work on this board, to work with Lost in Space and Legendary and get to kind of expand my horizons as an artist and a board maker, and kind of just think of something new that hadn't been done before. Try to think of something that seems somewhat impossible and try to create it.